Now, we've maintained this throughout the time. And again, I'm not going to go through all of those things, but this was our response to those 5 issues for our so what. And you'll see the numbers after these points here. So primary outreach tackles 3 and 4. So we had this menu of opportunity that every student knew what they were getting. We didn't actually tell them, but this is what we were giving them to make sure those fires didn't come in the first place. And I'll just pick out some of them. So, poverty proofing, funding for uniform strips and resources. We use the pupil premium money to give all the students a free uniform. I greet students every day as they come into school from 7 o'clock. I'll speak to all 1100 if I can. But what we're doing is actually checking they're okay, looking at the body language. We've got our pastoral support leads who on a rota are there supporting me from 7 o'clock. We'll check the shoes. The child who's walking in trainers is not being naughty. Okay, the child who's walking in trainers is because his shoes are bust. So we just, without any fuss, we'll give them some shoes. And we have a whole shoe, it's not covered anymore, it's a shoe room. We have a uniform area now rather than the uniform rail. And it's important to us that the students know there's no stigma attached to coming in without the correct uniform. Our uniforms are dead simple, just black blazer, no badge, because it's the easiest thing to replace. Simple tie, white shirt, black trousers. Dead simple. Okay? So we challenge that, and I'd much rather a school come in the incorrect uniform than me to say, yeah, there's a pair of shoes, fine, give them back at the end of the day, they might not come back. Okay? I'd rather that than the stigma attached to that child thinking on the way to school, either I don't want to go, I'm going to bunk off here, or I'm not coming in the first place. Pastoral trackers. We have a pastoral tracker for all the students, and it runs throughout their time with us in 5 years. Yes, it tracks academic progress, but it goes beyond that. It looks at are they disadvantaged, do they have an SEND need? Have they suffered a family bereavement? And every time there's a key event, everything goes into this pastoral tracker. And it's a one-stop shop for all the significant issues that may affect the child in their life or in school, personal life in school. And as a result of that, then, beyond this universal provision, there might be a secondary provision. And we have 3 levels of care. This is universal, we have secondary, and we have tertiary. The tertiary one is usually for fewer students, but highest cost. And it could be the engagement with external counsellors and things like that. We have a lot of internal counsellors, and I'll come on to that. Food parcels. We supply food for many of our families. Currently, there's 26 families that we are feeding on a daily basis within our school community. But it goes beyond that with the students being able to get involved in various things to support that as well. Toys, again, we don't highlight this to our students, but we know our families who are in significant disadvantage for whatever reason that may be. And so for this year, for example, 86 families received a stack of toys from us. Now that can be in a staff base of 250 staff, saying to staff, if you're buying a toy for your own children, would you mind? And yes, you're playing on staff a little bit, but there's loads of people in the community you can be cheeky to as well. 80 odd students this Christmas got a sack of toys, no fuss, the parents could just come in. They had that sack of toys work, otherwise they wouldn't have that. Now it's those little things that actually, when we're talking about well-being, makes a difference. And for me, this is the golden thread, and it always has been the golden thread of what we do in education. It's the important thing that underpins everything else. And if we don't get these things right, we're not going to get the educational excellence that we all seek. A health and wellbeing curriculum, I'll come on to that. A health plan. All our students in year 7 are assessed for various things. I employ 3 nurses within the school and within our family zone. Okay, they're all on site, based on site, and they do all the health referrals. So, if a parent rings up in the morning, little Billy's not coming today, he's not well. The first response is, okay, we hope he's better soon. The nurse will be with you within the next hour or 2 to check up on, see if there's anything that we can do. Now that's key, because it's doing 2 things. First of all, it's saying to the parent that we're here to help you. You've got a need, what can we do? But secondly as well, it's saying to the parents that we're not accepting it when the child is not in school. So they know they're always going to get a visit. Now yes, that's got costs. It's got 2 minibus too many buses, too many bus drivers, and it's obviously got the nurses who are doing that. With some children, I also put my behaviour manager going on that minibus as well. It's a great way of engaging families. So for persistent absence, that's fantastic, because sooner or later some parents would rather get kids into school than have that happen every day. But in terms of health, promoting health, and looking at what the real issues are, it's a good two-way process of really supporting families. Health screening. So, where we identify that there are issues, we give one-on-one intervention. Now, that's a bit of a swear word for me, intervention, as I say. But if a child was doing algebra, and they did a test, and they did poorly in that test, there would be some kind of intervention. Whatever that would be, you know the score there. But we don't necessarily do that from a health perspective. But if we don't tackle that in year 7, we're letting that fire develop over 5 years, where that child might have low self-esteem. So what can we do to challenge it? So we have apprentices that support us, and they run some of the health counselling sessions that we do, where it might be one-on-one provision. It might be taking them to a gym, taking them to a local gym, getting out for a walk. Little things that breaks down the barriers for students to engage them in physical activity. But also, in doing that, supports the well-being. That child who's turning up for PE without his kit, what can we do about it? And I'll talk more about that in a moment too. And what to train counsellors that now we've brought in school to support with that work as well.